Application programming. Interfaces, better known as APIs, are the unsung heroes of our digital world. They allow different software systems to talk to each other, seamlessly exchanging data and functionality. When you check the weather on your phone, book a flight, or order food online, APIs are working behind the scenes. This interconnectedness has revolutionized how we live and work. Businesses rely on APIs for everything from processing payments to managing customer data. However, this reliance also creates a critical point of vulnerability. Just as a physical door needs a strong lock, APIs require robust security measures. If these safeguards are weak or absent, malicious actors can exploit them to gain unauthorized access to sensitive information. The consequences of API breaches can be devastating, leading to financial losses, reputational damage, and erosion of customer trust.
The Open Web Application Security Project, or OWASP, highlights the most critical API security risks in its API Security Top 10 list. Let's delve into 4 of these vulnerabilities. Broken Object Level Authorization. This occurs when an API doesn't properly check if a user is authorized to access or modify a specific object. For example, imagine a banking app where a user can access their account details. If the API only verifies the user's login, but not their account ownership for each transaction, an attacker could potentially access other users' accounts.
Broken user authentication. Authentication verifies a user's identity. Weaknesses in authentication mechanisms, such as weak passwords or flawed token management, can allow attackers to impersonate legitimate users. Once inside, they can wreak havoc, stealing data or disrupting services.
Excessive data exposure. APIs should only expose the data that is absolutely necessary. When an API returns more information than needed, it increases the attack surface. Imagine an e-commerce site that returns a user's complete profile, including their credit card details, when only their order history is required. This excessive data exposure could be a goldmine for attackers.
Lack of resources and rate limiting. Rate limiting restricts the number of requests a user or IP address can make within a specific time frame. Without this, attackers can launch denial of service attacks, flooding the API with requests and overwhelming the server, making it unavailable to legitimate users. Section 4. When Giants Fall real-world case studies.
In 2018, Facebook suffered a major data breach affecting millions of users. The attackers exploited a vulnerability in the View As feature, which allowed users to see how their profiles appear to others. This vulnerability, combined with a bug in the video uploading feature, allowed attackers to steal access tokens and gain control of user accounts. The 2017 Equifax data breach, one of the largest on record, exposed the sensitive personal information of over 147 million people. Attackers exploited a known vulnerability in the Apache Struts software, which Equifax had failed to patch, to gain access to their systems.
Section 5. Building a Fortress, Actionable Guidelines for API Security.
Securing APIs is an ongoing process, but these guidelines can help build a robust defense.
Use multi-factor authentication, MFA, and robust authorization mechanisms such as OAuth 2.0 and OpenID Connect, OIDC, to verify user identities and control access to resources.
Treat all user inputs as potentially malicious. Validate data against a whitelist of allowed characters and sanitize inputs to prevent injection attacks.
Section 6. Continuing the security journey.
Encrypt data both in transit and at rest to protect it from unauthorized access. Use HTTPS for all API communications and encrypt sensitive data stored in databases. Implement rate limiting to prevent DOS attacks and monitor API traffic for suspicious activity. Use logging and security information and event management (CM) tools to detect and respond to threats.
By following these best practices, organizations can significantly reduce their attack surface and mitigate the risk of API breaches. Remember, security is not a one-time event. It's a continuous journey of vigilance and improvement. Please subscribe to our channel. By watching this video, you are supporting Annan Foundation's mission to provide educational programs for underprivileged children and their families. Thank you for making a difference.